Your cell phone rings. Do you answer the call? Well, some people have a special ring, and they know who it is without even looking at their phone. Oh, it's my daughter, I'll answer the call. If you don't have a special answer for or a ring for every person on your telephone, most cell phones have caller ID, so when your phone rings, you can look at the phone, and it will tell you who's calling. Oh, it's my boss. Don't want to talk to her right now. Oh, it's my son. I'll take that call. We're all getting calls all the time. But the question is, are you answering the call? And ladies and gentlemen, special guests, Lisa, our special guest, honored judges. I don't care if you answer your cell phone or not. What I want to know is when life calls, do you answer the call? Now, I used to think of a call as being some huge religious kind of thing. Someone was called to do something. That was what they were going to do for their entire life. And in order to get a call, you had to be really special. It would be somebody like Tiger Woods, who had a golf club in his hand since he was a child. It would be somebody like Barbra Streisand, singing in her entire life. Barack Obama, President of the United States. Mary Ellen Psaltis. But you know, the truth is sometimes I don't really think, I'm not that special. Can I still have a call? Good news, everybody. Everybody is special. Every single person in this room is special. I got to thinking about what would be a call for me. What a call is an opportunity or a moment or a way to be that calls you to be your highest and best. The highest and best that you can be. Sometimes it's a lot of fun. My son went to a middle school where they didn't serve lunch, and he needed to bring his lunch to school every single day. Well, he had brought his lunch a few times in the past at school, and his older sister and brother made lunches for them sometimes, but it wasn't really anything that was inspired or wonderful. And I decided if he was going to be going to school for 3 years at that middle school, that I was going to become the queen of lunch. And I did. I became the queen of lunch. I made cool sandwiches, I put little boxes of fun things, I wrote notes, I would prowl the bulk bins at Top Foods and find fun things like little pieces of candy that look just like Legos. Now, you might not think that's the most important thing in the world to make lunch for one person. But it was a healthful lunch, it was something I enjoyed doing, and every day when my son opened up his lunch bag, he knew that his mother loved him. Well, 8th grade came and middle school was over. And then my son was off to go to public school, be in high school. And I said, Costa, what are you going to be doing in the fall for your lunch? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, you know, is taking your lunch really cool? I said, you know, I don't think I'm making your lunch anymore. And he looked at me and he said, Mom, I hope you'll still make my lunch for me. My reign got to be 4 more years. And actually I have 1 year left because he's a junior right now, so I get to be queen of lunch and wear my crown for a whole other year. Now that particular call, for me, did call me to be my highest and best. I'm a nutritionist. I could provide him with a healthful lunch. Sometimes a call can be like that. But I also find in my life, sometimes a call isn't always fun and games. A few years ago at a District 32 event, we invited Dilip Babasakara, who was then the president of Toastmasters International. He came and spoke, and one of the things he mentioned during his talk was the accredited speaker program. And when I heard about the accredited speaker program, that really called to me. I said, I am going to do that. I had no idea what it meant, but I was going to do that. I jumped in. I realized that I could, in fact, do 25 speeches outside of Toastmasters within a three-year period, and I worked to do that. One of the things you have to do to get into the program is to tape a live performance of one of your talks. So I did that. And I thought maybe I should send my tape over to Dilip, who I had met that one event, that's the only time I ever met him. I called him up, I said, would you listen to my tape? And he said he could. So I sent him my tape, he sent me some comments back. Due to his comments, I said, I don't think I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do a different speech. So I taped a different one, and I mailed it in November. I can tell you, when I got my letter the following February that said I had been passed to the next level, I felt like I was on American Idol. I'm going to Hollywood. It was wonderful. I went to Calgary that year to give my accredited speaker talk in front of the whole international conference. It was a great talk. I had lots of practice. And that evening after I'd gotten my talk, I got a note back, or actually it was a phone call back. I took that call. It was from the incoming president of Toastmasters International. She said, your talk was very good, but you didn't quite qualify to be an accredited speaker. That was hard. That was not fun and games. But the next day, Cheryl Rosh, one of the speakers, said, she was an accredited speaker, she said, would you let me be your mentor? So I spent the next year working very hard, hiring another coach, practicing, learning more about speaking. Last year I gave another speech at the International Convention. I went all the way to the other side of the United States. It was probably one of the best speeches that I ever gave. I was well prepared. I looked right at everything I was supposed to do. I was pretty stoked. And I tell you, when I got the phone call that night that said that I needed 80 points to become an accredited speaker and had received marks in the high 70s, oh man, that was hard. But I'm going back again this year to give up for my a new speech, third and final time. So sometimes the call is challenging. It's something that calls you to be the best, to be your highest and best use. So folks, there's calls all the time in your life. They're fun and they're challenging, but you need to listen to what those are. So when life calls you, listen and then answer the call.
Fellow Toastmasters and our guests.